So you can come to your mat, find a child's pose that feels good for you, either knees wide or knees together, and then just surrendering down to the mat. Working on releasing any areas of tension. Might be kind of gripping in the hips, see if you can release that a little bit, and you can use those exhales to release even more there. Make sure you're releasing the forehead, the brow, maybe the jaw or the tongue. And it's up to you if you want the hands to be stretched out or tucked back behind, but try to release. So we're not in a real active pushing into the hands, more let the forearms collapse. Let the forehead connect. And just focus here on starting to deepen your breath. I often notice right at the beginning of my yoga practice how shallow my breath really is. And I love this invitation in yoga where I can just take it as deep as I can and really focus on exhaling all that air out, all the toxins out, before taking that next fresh breath of air. And feeling yourself expand into the side body and the back body. So feeling the lungs fill the entire abdomen and chest area. Front, back, and sides. Maybe noticing the sensation of the inhale and exhale through the nose, just on the top lip. Just noticing these little sensations. Taking the time to breathe. And bringing ourselves to the present moment. Setting a personal intention for your practice today. Maybe it's just to hang on to those little sensations. When the mind wanders, seeing how each little piece of the body feels, or maybe it's about just staying connected with that breath, or listening to the body, or maybe something outside yourself, dedicating your practice, this energy, somewhere where it's needed. And using that intention throughout the practice anytime the mind wanders, which it will inevitably do, it's job. So without judgment, just noticing that you can bring yourself back at any point. So in our child's pose, if the arms aren't already stretched out, we'll stretch them out in front of us. And we'll wiggle the knees under the body if the knees are wide. And staying as low to the mat as possible, we're going to slither ourselves forward onto our belly. And we're just taking a really baby cobra. So all that's lifted off the mat are our shoulders. We're not even pushing with the hands at all. I can remove my hands and I'd just be using my core here. We'll take a deep inhale here and then use that exhale in the upper body to stay low. Push yourself back to that child's pose. So we'll flow this 3 more times. Inhaling, bring yourself forward. Stay nice and low, baby cobra. Exhale, use that upper body to push yourself back. Take your time if you need an extra breath or 2 in between. It doesn't have to be with each inhale and exhale. Try to stay nice and low. And we'll all meet on the belly, so coming forward once more. Once you find yourself there, you're just gonna open the arms out to a T, and you're gonna bring that right arm into right next to the chest, Push that left hand into the ground and make sure it's coming straight out from your shoulder. And then slowly roll yourself onto that left shoulder. So the right knee will point up, right foot connects with the earth. And I use that right hand here to stabilize myself onto the side body. Relax the head down onto the mat. I'm trying to release any tension and just bringing the breath into that left shoulder. This is a fantastic stretch to do on both sides any time after you finish being on the computer all day. Next, inhale, we'll roll back onto the belly. Bring the arms back out to a T. Left hand comes into the chest. Rolling on now to the right shoulder. Left foot down, left knee pointed up. Staying connected with those deep breaths. Next, inhale, coming back onto the belly, and we'll come into Sphinx pose. So that means that our elbows are directly under our shoulders. Unlike in baby cobra, when our hands are back here, we slide the forearms forward. And then you push into the tops of your feet so much that the knees lift off the mat. You'll push the pubic bone even into the mat so the lower belly lifts. And then really think about drawing your head away from the shoulders and the heart pulling through, like your chest is reaching forward. Keep that engagement there. One more deep breath. And then you can slowly release out and push yourself back into that child's pose. Just the counter pose of that back bend, coming into that child's pose just for a beat. And then you can just bring yourself up onto your knees and hands to our tabletop posture. And we'll start by taking some organic movements. So just swaying the hips side to side, maybe taking, drawing some figure eights with the hips. Seeing how the hips are feeling today. Switching directions if you haven't already, maybe wagging that tail. And then coming to a neutral position. So neutral position means we're pushing into the tops of our feet. Let's actually do that for a second. So push into your hands, really into the fingertips, and then push into the tops of your feet so much that the knees lift off the mat. All right, then slowly lower the knees back down, but keep that engagement in the tops of the feet. So when you push into the tops of the feet and the shins, you should feel your core engaged. Little tuck of the tailbone, micro bend in the elbows. Inhale that right leg straight back, coming into a balancing pose. Flex that back foot. Take a deep inhale here as you exhale. Curve and round, bring the knee towards your nose. Inhale to lengthen nice and long. Exhale to curve and round. You can keep it right here, or you might invite that left arm into the mix, which is going to challenge your balance a little bit more. And it might sort of help or prevent you from keeping that really great posture. So if you feel like you're collapsing in the lower back or that right wrist, just bring that left hand back down. You're going to counter by really pushing into those right fingertips if you've got that left hand lifted. Go for one more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left hand comes down, right foot stays up. You're going to pitch it around so that it's coming out at a 90-degree angle from your hips. And then your right foot is now parallel with your mat, so it's pointing towards the front of your mat. You're going to inhale that left hand up to the sky into a twist. And then as you exhale, you're going to thread the needle down, reach through towards that foot, plant the shoulder and the head down on the mat. You can keep this hand right here for support. You can reach it forward to make a nice straight line, or you can lift it up, or you can tuck it behind the hips. So many options. Choose what feels best for you. Make sure you're releasing in the jaw, the neck, And keep pushing into that outer right edge of your foot to keep a nice straight leg. Inhale, bring that right hand back in front of the face. So you can inhale, peel all the way up to a twist. Exhale that left hand back down. Now you're staying here, that right foot staying out. We're gonna walk the hands forward. So it's kind of like a half child's pose. You're gonna sit back towards that left heel as much as you can while keeping this right leg out. Next, inhale brings you back up, coming back into our tabletop posture. Let's take 2 little rounds of cat-cow just to neutralize. So inhale, lifting up. Exhale, curve and round. Push the spine up towards the ceiling. Your inhale. Exhale. And then returning to neutral. So as we did before, really firmly push into the hands as if you're doing a plank pose, little micro bend in the elbows. Push into the tops of the feet so the knees lift off the mat. Then slowly lower the knees back down, maintaining that engagement. Inhale, that left leg up. Little tuck of the tailbone to protect the lower back. Belly button to spine. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, curve and round, bring the knee towards the nose, the chest or the chin. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to curve and round. And you can keep both hands on the ground or you can invite that right arm into the mix. Exhale, curve and round. Inhale to lengthen. Keep pushing into that left hand firmly. Top of the right leg firmly. Last one here. Inhale to lengthen. Right hand comes down. 90-degree angle with that leg. Flop it down straight out of the hip. Inhale the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle underneath. Drop the shoulder and head down to the mat. Keep pushing into that outer edge of your left foot. Left hand can either reach forward, straight up, or you can tuck it back behind the hip. Try to relax the head, relax the neck. Keep the core engaged. Inhale, bring that left hand back and come all the way up back to that twist. Drop the right hand down, sit it back into this half child's pose. Next inhale, bring yourself forward. Coming back into that tabletop. Let's take 2 rounds cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, push that spine up. Coming back into the tabletop, we're gonna just tuck the toes and push ourselves back to our first down dog. Pedal out the feet. Take any movements that feel good. And eventually, work towards finding a little stillness in your down dog. Remember, you can bend the knees as much as you need. So our goal is not to get the legs as straight as we can. The goal is to get a straight line from the wrist crease to the top of the tailbone. So I can bend my knees all the way till my belly hits the top of my thighs. And this is a more successful down dog than if I'm gonna straighten those legs and curl my back because I can't get it there. So bend the knees as much as you need to, especially at the start of your practice when we're still warming up. Next inhale, we're gonna move it forward to plank. As you exhale, lift the hips, push yourself back, down dog. Let's flow that 3 more times. Inhale to plank. Think about the hips leading this movement, bringing you up and back. One last round. Inhale to plank. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Inhale to the toes. Exhale, walk yourself to the front of your mat. Forward fold at the front of your mat. Pause here, grab opposite elbow. Shake the head out, nod and shake. Release the hands back down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep fold, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale, bring yourself all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll continue warming up with our Surya Namaskar A or our Sun Salutation A. Inhale the arms up overhead, gaze up to the thumbs. Exhale, hinge at the hips, dive down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, hand to shins or ground. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back to plank. Maybe lower the knees here. Either way, keep the elbows tucked in tight, lowering all the way down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, pushing tops to the top of the feet. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, bring yourself back down and push back, downward facing dog. So as you push back, you can go through the knees, you can go through a reverse push-up. And then we take 3 deep breaths here. Find that stillness, find that intention. Next inhale, we come to the tiptoes. Exhale to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep fold, tuck the chin. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart center. Round 2. Inhale, gaze up to the thumbs. Exhale, hinge, dive down, tuck the chin. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back to plank. Maybe keep the knees up, maybe lower. Either way, coming all the way down, elbows tight to the body. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, push yourself back, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Inhale to the tiptoes. Exhale to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep fold, chin to chest. Inhale, sweep the arms up, gazing to the thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart center. Coming into our 3rd and final round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, plant it, take it back. Exhale all the way down. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. Inhale to the toes. Exhale, step walker, float it forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep fold. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart center. Push the palms firmly together. Bring the feet close together. Zip up the legs. Roll the shoulder blades back. Nice and tall. Gently close the eyes. Take a few deep breaths here. Bring the thumbs to the sternum. Feel the heartbeat. Feel the breath flow. Next inhale, bring the palms all the way up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bring it back. Let's push back, downward facing dog. So you can always skip that flow and just bring it back to down dog, or you can add in some extra push-ups. You can do whatever feels best for you. Inhale that right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Let's hold it for a full breath. Really sink into that left heel, stretch out that left calf. As you exhale, bring it forward, step it through, right foot in between the hands. Stay nice and low in a low lunge. Option to drop that back knee or keep it lifted. Inhale, sink the hips down as you reach the heart forward. Exhale, push the hips back as you straighten that front leg. You can play with it if it's better to have the toes on the ground or lifted. See where you get a better stretch. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, push it back. Move with your own breath. Sometimes I like to play with is knee up or down better. Maybe take one or two in each. All right, we'll meet with the legs wide. We're gonna switch it up a little bit today. So you're gonna step that back foot in about halfway on your mat. So you're making more of a like equilateral triangle shape with your legs. All right, inhale, half lift, get that nice flat back. And then exhale, we're folding into pyramid. So some of you might keep the hands on the shin right here. If the fingertips can touch, you can bow down over that front leg, working towards legs both as straight as you can get them without hyperextending the knees. And then working like you're doing a forward fold on that front right leg, really trying to bring the body nice and close. One more deep breath here. Let's inhale to flat back. Exhale, you're gonna move that foot back into that low lunge. Plant the left hand, inhale the right hand up to the sky, coming into a twist. Gaze up to that right thumb if the neck allows. You can always look straight out or down. One more deep breath here. Twist a little deeper. Exhale, right hand comes down. Straightening both legs, but keeping the wide leg would walk over to the middle of your mat. So you're coming into a wide legged fold. Inhale, half lift, nice flat back. And then exhale, lower the upper body down. Release the neck and head, maybe shake it out a little. You can check in your, if you feel like your feet are sliding, bring your toes just pigeon-toed in a little bit and stick the heels out. You can grab opposite ankle. You can grab just keeping the hands up at the face. You can also reach through and flip the palms to help you bring the head closer towards the ground. Next, inhale, bring the hands in front of the face if they're not there already. Take a half lift. Exhale, come to the back of your mat. So you're now over the left foot in a low lunge. So we're gonna do the same thing with the other side. So inhale, sink the hips, lifting up. Exhale, push the hips back, bowing over that front leg. Knee can be up or down. Moving with your own breath. Inhale to sink the hips. Exhale to push it back. And we'll meet in that wide legs, straight legs. And then you're gonna step that back foot in about halfway, middle of your mat to make that shorter stance. Inhale, half lift, nice flat back. As you exhale, bow over that front leg, pyramid pose. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step that right foot back. Plant the right hand. Deep inhale, sweep that left arm up to the sky into your twist. Keep pushing firmly into that right hand. Deep inhale the twist. Exhale, bring that left hand back down. push into the wide-legged stance, walk back to the middle of your mat. So round 2, you might heel toe your feet a little bit wider, or maybe just take the heels out a little wider. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, round 2, wide-legged fold. Take your arm variation of choice. Try to let gravity do as much of the work as possible, which means we usually are telling our body, no, you're not supposed to be upside down. So we're clutching our thighs behind our knees, our glutes. Put your hands somewhere so you can start to release all of that. Put your hands where you're comfortable, and you can talk and turn off those muscles a little bit. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bring yourself back to the front of the mat over that right foot. Push back, downward facing dog. Next inhale, we're going to kick that right leg up into the 3-legged dog for a full breath. Exhale, come to step in between the hands, preparing for warrior 2. So you're going to windmill it up, coming into your warrior 2. So that back foot heel connects with the ground and it's parallel to the back edge of your mat. You're going to sink this knee over the ankle. And when I look down, I can still see my big toe, so I haven't sunk too far. I'm keeping the knee up above. Bring the hands to the hips. Check that you're coming straight out of the body, not leaning forward or back. And then open the arms out. Gaze out over that right middle finger. And take a moment just to flip the palms up. Feel how the triceps and the shoulders engage. Now bring the hands back down, but maintain that engagement. Inhale, flip the front palm and come to reverse. So that hand's gonna travel, left hand's gonna travel back down towards the shin. And you're working on this crescent moon shape from your fingers to your toes. And make sure it's just a side stretch. We're not coming into the lower back here. You're opening the heart too much up to the sky if you're feeling it in the lower back. Keep it a side stretch. Deep inhale here. We're gonna exhale the side angle. So the forearm can come to the upper, or just the thigh above the knee. And then this left hand can either come straight up or reach out forward. Work on keeping that left shoulder away from the ear. So you're gonna drop that left shoulder down rather than having it up here. Drop it back. All right, so gaze down at that right toe, and then you're gonna bring the hands down to the mat to travel yourself to the left back foot into, for lack of better terminology, this sort of kung fu squat. All right, so my front toes are pointing up. I might be off my back heel, that's okay. And I'm just have this real intense stretch on the inside of my right thigh. If you're still up here, that's fine. Sinking down this fast is too much. We'll have another opportunity later. All right, so we're gonna travel back to that side angle. So you're gonna push yourself back up, walk the hands back, come into that side angle. Next, inhale, come all the way to reverse. Lower body stays the same. Exhale, windmill your hands all the way down. Step it back. This is where you can flow or not flow. So you can just push to down dog, or you can take it through the vinyasa. All right, we'll take the other side and then we'll do a little break. Inhale that left leg up to the sky, 3-legged dog, full breath. Exhale, come to step it in between the hands. Prepare for your warrior 2. Windmill the arms up. All right. This way? Yeah. All right, taking a moment, checking in that we're coming straight up out of the body. Arms are open, gaze out over that left middle finger. Flip the palms up just for a moment, feel that engagement. Maintain, bring the palms down. Maybe sink a little bit deeper. Keeping that lower body as is. Inhale to reverse. That right hand travels down, reach back, working on that crescent moon shape. Deep inhale. Exhale, we'll transition to side angle. Left forearm to left thigh. Inhale the right arm up and over, but keep that right shoulder tucked down away from the ear. All right, slowly we're gonna bring the hands down to the ground to help us travel back onto the opposite side now. So we're coming to that back leg. Remember, you can be up here if you need to be. You don't have to sink down quite so low. All right, you might need to do a little wiggle, wiggle. I've got my toes, my left toes pointed up, flexed foot, and that's really gonna open that inner left thigh there. Take one more breath here. Then you're gonna use your hands to push yourself back up, bring it back to the side angle. And this should feel really good then when you open up that hip after we were crunched down there. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, windmill it all the way down. Step it back. You can flow through your vinyasa or push back downward facing dog. Once we hit that down dog, we're gonna walk our hands back to our feet and take a little breather in an inversion. So you can grab opposite elbow in hanging ragdoll. You can bend the knees and bring the hands under the feet and come into gorilla, wiggling the toes to release the wrists. You can bring peace fingers to the big toe and help yourself fold a little deeper. Wherever you end up, really release the head, shake it out, nod it. Release the jaw, release the tongue. Just hang. Take a couple more deep breaths into the mid and lower back, so really feel the lungs expand behind you. And slowly drop the hands back down or release them from under the feet. Inhale, take a half lift. We do this 3 times. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, half lift, taking like a little ocean-like flow here. Exhale, down, waving through the spine. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. We'll walk the hands back into our downward facing dog. So we'll do a similar flow that we just did. We're gonna add on some options, but you can always do exactly what we just did. No need to change. Inhale that right leg up to the sky. This time drop the heel towards the left bum and open the hip. So you're pointing that right knee up to the sky, feeling that outer right hip open. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, bring it forward, preparing for that warrior 2. All right, sinking down, flip those palms up just briefly, feel that engagement, bring the palms back down. Inhale, flip the front palm to reverse. Nice side stretch. Exhale, bring it forward to your side angle. So you can be right here with the arm on the leg if it's available. You might bring that hand further down the leg, or maybe bring the hand to the ground. Or hand tucked behind the back, whatever feels good for you. Now you can bring the hands down and transition to that Kung Fu squat, or you might play without using the hands and bringing yourself just by using the core to that left knee squat. All right, you can stay right here, or we're gonna flow that 2 more times. It's a lot of core work, so we'll bring ourselves back up to that side angle. Bringing ourselves back to the Kung Fu squat. I need to figure out what the name of this is. Bringing it forward to side angle. Bringing it back here. And then we're gonna all meet back in our final side angle. Inhale to reverse. You're gonna straighten that front leg. It should feel amazing to straighten that front leg right now. And exhale into triangle, meaning you reach super forward, then drop that hand down, stack the arms up, stack the shoulders, gaze up to that left thumb if it's available. One more deep breath here. Exhale, you're gonna bring that left hand down, right hand down, and step that back leg into the pyramid, which we did earlier. So that left foot just came in a little bit, yeah? So it's like that equilateral triangle shape. So you can stay right here taking the same pyramid we did earlier, or you might interlace the fingers and come into more of a chest opener. Third option might be you might take reverse prayer, which means you push the palms together behind you, which I usually have to stand up to do before I come into. If you're interlacing the fingers, really push the palms together. We'll bring the hands down to the mat if they're not there already, and simply step back to your plank. You can flow here, push back, downward facing dog. All right, we'll take the next side, and we'll take child's pose. Inhale that left leg up to the sky. Let that heel drop towards the bum. Push that left knee up. Deep inhale here. Exhale, bring the foot in between the hands, preparing for warrior two. Flip those palms up just for a moment. Feel that engagement. Palms back down. Front palm, flip to reverse. As you exhale, bringing yourself into your side angle, maybe a little deeper this time. Deep inhale here. Exhale with hands or without, bringing yourself back to that squat. And then you can stay right here and enjoy that stretch, or we're gonna flow it. Coming into our side angle, and our squat. We got this. Inhale, exhale. Last one here. Inhale, exhale, inhale. We'll all meet in that side angle. Inhale to reverse, straighten that front leg. Exhale, bring it forward to triangle. Stack the shoulders, stack the hands. Gaze can maybe go up to that right thumb. Then that gaze comes down to the left foot. Hands come down. Step that back leg in for pyramid pose. You can choose maybe interlacing the fingers behind you. Maybe coming into that reverse prayer. Wherever you're at, let's take an inhale to half lift and exhale to fold over that left leg. Slowly releasing the hands down to the ground. We'll step that right foot back, left to follow. Flow or not to flow, we're all gonna meet in child's pose. Once you're there, dropping the knees down, sitting the hips back. Trying to take child's pose of surrender rather than active one. Really releasing into the mat. All right, and we'll slowly bring ourselves up to the knees. We're going to take some time for an inversion today, probably about 5 minutes after I demo and everything. But if you want to move yourself to the wall, you can. If you're at home and you feel a little bit better about somersaulting out and want to try it away from the wall, you can do that as well. But I'm going to set us up for tripod today. So if you'd like to move yourself closer to a wall, you can do that now. I'm going to move you closer to my wall. You can do 0 of this if you want, and you can just bring, you can just bring your bum really close to the wall and bring the legs up the wall. So this is our alternate if you don't want to practice tripod headstand today. Of course, you could take any inversion of your choice as well. But I'm going to walk us through this step by step. Okay, so if you're going to join us, sorry, this is a little janky. If you're going to join us, I'm going to quick demo what we're going to do. So to start, you're going to just come into bringing your hands to the ground. If you can see me all right. And you'll notice my arms make a 90-degree angle. So we have a tendency to bring our hands here, but then you don't have those bones stacked. And if we get here, you can see I've got that nice crease in my wrist. And then we just come into like a modified downward dog. So I'm downward dog, but I'm on my head and I'm pushing into my hands a whole lot. From here, I can bring one knee and the other knee, and I might just stay right here. And I know that the wall is behind me, and I might just hold this. Next option is to bring the knees into the chest, and then eventually up straight along the wall. So this is tripod headstand. Some people prefer supported because it is a little bit more intense on the top of the head without the supported hands there. However, I feel like if you practice it quite regularly, your head just starts to feel like another limb. So I keep pushing into the hands. At some point, I'm probably going to bring myself back into that tripod and then bring the feet down. And after we take an inversion, other than feet up the wall, we always come into a little child's pose, maybe with stacked fists. But our goal is to take about 10 breaths inverted, and then to rest, and then to take a second round. So other options could be the supported headstand, where we bring create a nice little cradle for the back of our head. You might take shoulder stand, like I said, legs up the wall. We got about another minute and a half if you'd like to take your second round of headstand, sorry. I guess you could do a handstand too. All right. So I'm gonna plant my hands. I've got my nice 90-degree angle. I really push my shoulders away from my ears and activate my hands like I'm gonna push myself away. I come into my downward facing dog. So I'm on my toes, got my 90-degree angle. I'm pushing into my hands. And then I might come into tripod first, bring the knees up, and then maybe I can straighten the legs. And then I'm really thinking about keeping a nice long neck. So I'm pushing into the top of my head like it's the top of one of my hands. And I'm really trying to balance that weight between my two hands and my head as much as I can, which just means I'm really pushing into my hands firmly. So you can come down through tripod, or you can bring the knees down and then let the toes come down as well. Make sure we take some time for a child's pose after round 2, whether you're doing any inversion. All right, and then we can come up to the knees.
just to check before we do anything else that the blood is starting to flow that way. And then we'll come on to our bum and we'll lower all the way down onto our backs with our knees pointed up. All right, so knees are up. My heels are coming as close to my bum as I can, so I can maybe tickle the heels. All right, and I'm gonna push into my hands, my forearms, and my triceps, and then I'm gonna smooth out my lower back onto the ground. So I'm like tucking my tailbone and getting my lower back to the ground. And the next inhale, I'm gonna push my hips up to the sky, maybe work my shoulder blades under a little bit, just coming into a bridge pose. My knees are above my ankles, so my knees aren't splaying out or in, and my gaze is straight up. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, your bum's gonna sink towards the heels, and then just windshield wiper the knees left and right a little bit. So we're gonna do 2 more rounds, and you can do the exact same thing we just did, or we'll add a little bit more intensity. All right, so bringing the knees straight up, pushing firmly into the entire arm, pushing into the feet, smoothing out that lower back. Inhale, lift the hips up. This time you might work the shoulder blades under a bit so that you can interlace the fingers and create that fist underneath, which helps you push into the mat and lift the hips even higher. Breathing deeply into the belly, gaze is straight up or at the belly. 1 more deep breath. As you exhale, release the hands and bring the bum towards the heels, lengthening the spine. Slowly, windshield wiper side to side. We're gonna come into our 3rd and final round here. This time we'll take supported bridge. So I'm gonna stack and push into my triceps and create a little shelf with my hands on my sacrum. First, I'm gonna get into pushing into my arms, tucking my tailbone. Inhale, push into the feet, get the shoulders underneath, and then I come to my tiptoes so I can sneak 1 hand under and the other hand under, pushing into my triceps, pushing into my hands, and then I lower the heels down. Gaze straight up or at the belly. Next inhale, I come back to my tiptoes, release the hands down so I can slowly lower the hips down towards the heels. Last little round, bringing my knees left and right. And then we'll bring the hands to the kneecaps, and we're just gonna make circles with our knees in one direction. So massaging the lower back, and then taking it in the other direction. And then bring the knees into the chest, give them a tight squeeze. Maybe just take the head side to side to release out the neck. After our inversion and our back bend. And then from here, you can either let the knees simply fall to either side, or if you want to take a deeper twist, we're going to bring the left leg over the right, like we're sitting in a chair. And then I like to lift my hips up just a little bit to the left, and then drop the knees over to the right. So with this twist, it's really pulling and stretching here. And then I want that left hand to come all the way to try to bring that left shoulder down towards the mat. I like to keep this hand on the knee, but you can open it up, whatever feels good for you. If it's available on the neck, you're gonna gaze out over that left hand to bring the twist into our cervical spine as well. Close the eyes if it feels safe, and just focus on deep breaths in the twist. These deep, detoxifying breaths. Gently let the knees come back to center. Uncross the legs. And this time bring that right leg over left, and then just scooch the hips over to the right before you drop down to the left. So this just ensures that our spine is nice and straight here as we twist. That right hand can press down and you can gaze out to that right hand. Left hand can be on the knee or reach it out and open. Maybe close the eyes and focus on those deep breaths. I'm going to gently allow the knees to come back to center. Uncross the legs. And then taking a full minute of your choice of postures. So you might come into a happy baby. You might come into a reclined butterfly. Maybe you want to take another inversion like shoulder stand, maybe a fish pose if you want to open up the neck. But make this final minute of your practice completely yours. Whatever feels good for you. Maybe a figure 4 pose. And taking about 5 more rounds of breath to bring you into your Shavasana pose, wherever that might be for you today, maybe legs up the wall. But finding a comfortable posture where you can completely relax, completely surrender. Letting the arms and legs fall open wide. Just taking a moment to ensure we've completely released. So letting any tension go out of the feet, the heels, near the Achilles, up to the calf. Releasing the muscles around the knee. Releasing up into the thighs. Making sure the hips are just melting into the mat, releasing tension that we've been working hard on our hips today. Allow the breath to return to a natural state. So you can release the abdomen and the core and the chest. And then relax all the way down through the shoulders and the arms to the fingertips. Release the neck, the jaw, the tongue, all the tiny muscles around the mouth, the nose, the eyes, the brow, out to the sides of your face and around the ears, and all the way up to the crown of your head. Maybe sighing out a breath or two, completely surrendering to this final pose in our practice today. Using that intention and breath to keep you present.